Hello. Today we're going to be talking about the story of Finn. And this is something that will be explained a little bit more in the next movie. What happened to Finn? What happened to little baby Finn? He was taken and stripped away from his family that he didn't know. But how did this happen? What do we know? Well, we're going to tell you what we know.
We can start off with a little information about Finn. We first meet Finn in The Force Awakens. He is a daring stormtrooper who feels that what he's doing is not right. So he chooses to rescue the Resistance prisoner, Poe Dameron. And from that moment, his adventure begins. He makes friends along the way, and he finds who he really is. But there's still that longing inside of him. Yes. Who is he?
So, let's just talk about when, in that moment when he says he was taken from a family he will never know.
He says it with passion, with depression.
And not only that, but I had a brain fart.
Well, he wants a friend. He's desperate for any sort of love.
I know what I was going to say. Okay, it is said that he's the best stormtrooper, right?
In certain forms of media, yes.
Why?
In his division.
Why would they put him in sanitation?
They're afraid of his power.
They're afraid of his power.
Just as any evil, corrupt leaders do.
Potential.
Evil, corrupt leaders put good-hearted people in low positions.
And, they don't want him to know his full power. So they put him in sanitation. Now, that didn't stop Finn from doing what he needed to do.
He broke free.
He felt with inside of him this need to do something more, to be something more than a stormtrooper. So what did he do? He found Poe, and he left with Poe. Now we're going to tell you the story of Finn and where he came from. A long time ago.
In a galaxy far, far away.
In a galaxy far, far away.
Luke Skywalker was going along one of his continuing travels to explore the galaxy and find out information about the Jedi. He stopped from planet to planet and met countless people and species.
And along the way, he met this beautiful woman who caught his eye.
She stood in the sunlight. Her hair was long, curly, and flowing.
And there was something about this woman that he had never felt before.
It was
this peace that surrounded her.
The Force was calling him to her.
The Force was calling him to her. And they fell in love. And they lived some time together. But Luke felt
guilt.
The inner Jedi within him, a conflict. He loved this woman, but he felt like what he was doing was wrong. He was becoming like his father Anakin, and it scared him. He was becoming attached to this woman, and he was afraid that he'd go down the path of his father.
So one day, he left.
He left her. He left her alone and devastated. And she didn't know why. Was it her? Was it... He was just gone.
Was what they had really real?
And she herself did not know that Luke was a Jedi. She just thought he was some person traveling who found where she lived and liked the location and fell in love with her. And then he was gone. And next thing we know, little baby Finn came into the world. This beautiful little baby boy.
With bright, shining eyes, a smile that would capture the hearts of many.
He was
pure,
and beautiful.
His name.
I don't know why this is funny. And his name
Was Sam.
Sam.
Not Finn.
No.
Sam.
His mother called him Sam. This is very serious.
For
Sorry,
he
we're
was
laughing.
loyal. He was beautiful. He was the light
Of her life.
A mother's
She
child.
spent her day and night taking care of him and raising him.
She's singing ancient
And there came
lullabies
a
about
day.
the stars.
There was a day when Phasma and the stormtroopers came down.
They
on
burned
her
the
home.
city down.
They burnt the city down looking for children. And in her home was little baby Finn sleeping
To a
in his
beautiful
bed.
song.
His mother was singing a beautiful song to him.
About
a song
the
that had
stars.
been passed on from generation to generation about the stars.
About the galaxy and the beautiful hopes it possessed.
And then
The door came
Phasma
banging
comes
down.
in. And she takes little baby Finn and says, "This child is not yours anymore. He belongs to the First Order." And they take little baby Finn onto the ship, back to this ship station. I don't know what it's called. And he's so young that his memories are not quite clear.
They're not even there at all. He has no
He
memory
only
of his
has
mother.
feelings of what his mother's love for him
Late at
the
night,
song.
he still hears the lullaby.
from his mother, beckoning him to the stars, the song of the stars. Son, follow the stars. Follow the stars. Finn
There's still hope
leaves
for Finn.
the First Order. He grows up, and Phasma sees that he is stronger than the other stormtroopers, that his instincts are stronger, and this scares her. Kylo
sees it
as
as well.
and he's starting to wonder.
There's something familiar
There's
about
something
him.
familiar in the way that this young little boy fights, and his instincts, and his desire for good, and it
He-
threatens them.
He helps his other fellow stormtroopers in a way other stormtroopers do not.
No,
He acts in a team effort,
and
which
he
is
asks questions about the people of the universe and why are we doing what we are doing. And he was always silenced, and he was always told to not ask questions.
he was punished for having the
So
childlike
after some
wonder.
time, they made him go to sanitation to quiet him and to keep him at bay from learning his true abilities. So he spent his day doing a job
Cleaning the floors, cleaning the mirrors.
by himself most of the time, isolated from people. Until one day, he was asked to partake in a battle
On Jakku
on Jakku
to retrieve the map.
of
For
Luke
Luke
Skywalker. So they load them all up and they send him down to Jakku. And as Finn looks at all the stormtroopers,
And the villagers.
he feels something inside him that he never felt before. This courage and this need to not be part of this any longer.
It feels wrong.
He decides he is not going to join the First Order's fight. He does not shoot the villagers.
Something inside him tells him it is wrong.
It is wrong. He feels something inside of him telling him this is wrong. So they go back up into their ship. And Finn takes off his helmet for the first time. Something that you should never do.
Not in front of others.
And he says, I am not this. I am more. So he finds the prisoner Poe. And we know what happens from there. Now, in this next movie,
Finn will discover
Finn will discover who he truly is.
he is a Jedi. Like his father.
He meets his sister, his half-sister, that he didn't know he
Ever had?
And
This connection is
And
strong.
listen, and this girl talks about her mother and a song. He's
Finn!
like, what's song? And they talk about the song. And
She
he
sings
remembers
it to him.
his mother. And all of a sudden, all his memories from when he was younger come in one place. And he realizes through the forest that this is his sister. And he remembers his mother.
His beautiful mother.
And then he thinks of Luke Skywalker.
For some reason, out of nowhere.
He feels this deep connection. And he learns through the Force who his father is. And then he feels all the power within him come.
The
like it
Force
hadn't
theme plays
before.
for him.
He
There's
feels his true self. And then we know who Finn Sam Skywalker really is.
And in his darkest moment, Luke Skywalker comes to him and says, "Son, I am here for you."
I will teach you the ways of the Force. I am here and I will always be here to guide you. And he apologizes for leaving his mother and him.
If Luke had known, he would have never left.
He would have never left. He felt
Shame.
guilty
He
and
was left
shame.
with shame and consequence for his actions. He will guide Finn in any way he can. His
And,
beautiful baby son.
and this is the story of Finn.